You're listening to WZMB Zombie Radio, your personal soundtrack to the end of the world. That was Van Gogh and Thy Flesh Consumed, a remake of the song from the hit game Doom. I didn't intend that rhyme, it just happened, so you're welcome very much. I don't know why, but that game makes me think of how large the world was at one point, and how, upon the release of that game, how small the world began to come. For me, at least, that game was the first introduction to the world of being online, the internet. And the moment I played that game, the moment I was able to connect a computer to the internet, the world became a very microcosmic organism. What was once an impossibility became a possibility. Communicating to people on the opposite side of the globe was now as simple as clicking a button. Of course, it wasn't exactly as simple as clicking a button because you had to deal with modems. You remember the screech and scream of your 56K modem? And how screaming fast that bastard was, compared to today's standards, and that was like racing a Lamborghini against the Flintstone mobile. But now, the world is tiny. Speaking to someone in, I don't know, Libya or Bangladesh is as simple as opening up your window and screaming at your neighbor. Only now to scream, you just push down that caps lock key. And that, of course, brings me to the thought that I want to discuss. The apocalypse did not just hit the United States. Yes, it's very easy and very common for the people of the United States to assume that everything revolves around us. But it doesn't. You see, there are people, human beings, across the globe. And every human, I assume, has been struck or affected by the Mengele virus, thus rendering us one people, one planet. We are no longer bound by borders and nationalities, because the Mengele virus is truly the great equalizer. You can't drop your racist card on the table when you're staring down an Indian zombie. Whether that zombie is wearing a trucker cap or a turban, it still only wants one thing: your brains. And if you don't give those brains up, that zombie, regardless of nationality, will chase you down in hopes of smashing your head on the concrete and getting at your sweet meats. Race, out of the question. Gender, out of the question. sexuality no longer an issue. We are one global victim. And we must band together in order to save the race of man. Because if we continue in the same vein that we had been continuing on throughout the 90s and 2000s, we are doomed. Why do I say that? Because we were on a collision course with, I don't know, segregation, separatism, bipartisanship. Those are words when you look back now and you think, were those really and truly the biggest concerns we had? You can't be a bigot now. You can't be a racist, a homophobe. Because that gay man or woman, that Muslim, that Catholic, that Republican or Democrat might just be the person that could save your life. Of course, it could also be the same person that could take your life. Fortunately, we have a very good means of knowing who is going to save and take lives. You hear a moan, or you see those glazed over white eyes, and you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that man, that woman, that thing has but one thing on its mind: your brains. Otherwise, consider that person your friend, your ally, your fellow human being on this ride called life. And if you can't get over yourself, you might as well consider yourself the enemy. Because those that can't cooperate will find themselves part of the problem. And you will most likely find yourself on a heap of cooling human waste. Globalization. Reach out to anyone of any faith, of any nationality, of any color, of any creed. It all just kind of washes away now, and we become human. The apocalypse, the great equalizer, that thing that we needed so long ago to finally show us that we will never survive if we can't cooperate. And in that vein, I'm going to play you a song by an Indian band named Nayaz. And the song is called Parishan, and it is globally as funky as you can get. So, burn your incense and get your funk on with Nayaz, my bitches. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Weren't expecting that, were you? Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. Oh, well, that groove is getting itself on. I'm gonna go get me some grub on. Yeah, that's right. The zombie radio DJ has to eat. But what do I eat? What does the zombie radio DJ, you're asking yourself? It's the apocalypse. I'm eating whatever the hell I can get my hands on. Well, right now, let's take a look at what I've been able to plunder around the area. Ramen. You remember ramen? How many people of you survived on that while you were living in the dorm of your college? I did. It's kind of hard to do this without looking like I'm advertising for companies. Here. The best thing to survive by. Power bars, Cliff bars. Anything you can get your hands on that's wrapped and nutritious. And this is about as close as you can get. My kitty cat. She's not a zombie cat. She's a kitty cat. What else can we survive on in the apocalypse? There's food, I guess. There's, Pop-Tarts. It's the apocalypse. If Procter and Gamble and the makers of ramen and candy bars and soda pop and potato chips are still around, they're going to be making a killing because all of their crap hasn't gone bad. You can't go to the grocery store and go and make your way into the fruits and vegetables or the meats or whatever and have something to eat because it's all gone bad. All we can eat is crap right now. Or there's always Zatarans. As long as you've got water and heat, you can boil you up some gumbo or some jambalaya and get your old Cajun on. But seriously, at some point, electricity's going to go out. We're not going to be able to heat up food the way we normally do. Or, heaven forbid, we lose the power of the microwave. Because everybody's got to get their coffee on. If you can't get your coffee on, you are never going to survive the apocalypse. And then, once the electricity goes out, our refrigerators are not going to work. Mexican Coke. That's my kind of coffee. Donuts. I don't know how long that box has been there. Jack's Donuts. They were the best before the apocalypse. They were the best donuts in the world. Now I'm afraid that it's probably carbonized bricks of sugary yummy goodness, but I'm not going to try. I didn't even eat. I got so busy talking to you about what in the hell you can eat during the apocalypse that I didn't eat. Let me show you my favorite survival food of the apocalypse. Peanut butter. Now, here's the problem. The way I eat peanut butter, it eventually runs out. Now I'm going to scrape this bitch until it's completely bereft of its nougaty yummy goodness. At which point, I am going to have to go back out and see if I can find someone who didn't make it. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to find somebody who expired before they ate all of their food. I don't even want to think about it anymore. I just want to survive. Because that's what it's all about right now. Now to eat a peanut butter sandwich, gotta have bread. Store-bought bread doesn't exist. It's no longer a part of the equation. So we've got to make our own bread. I suck at baking. But I have a bread maker. Anyway. Nobody ever thought survival in the apocalypse was going to be easy. And it's not. It is a constant challenge of everything we have ever known. The very act of sustenance, of water, of finding provisions. You never know where your next meal is going to come from. And you never know if something is going to make its next meal out of you. But we're surviving. You've got music to listen to. Speaking of which, that song is probably just about over. Oh, one last thing. Grow lights. Invest. With that little baby, I can grow some serious vegetables. Year-round even. Anyway. Oh God, I hope you're surviving out there. Anyway, I gotta put on another song. I gotta go make my sandwich, get my grub on, and keep the fire burning. Peace out, my peoples.